by the members that attend. Bear in mind that routinely the CEOs of major oil companies, BP, Dutch Royal Shell, attend Bilderberg meetings. Every year, Dutch Royal Shell is represented at Bilderberg. They control the capacity at which oil is refined. So they can create artificial scarcity when they want oil prices to go up, and they can create an abundance of oil when they want oil prices to go down. Of course, also it's impacted by what the dollar's doing in certain economic conditions. But primarily, they followed the orders of their Bilderberg masters. Kissinger wanted the oil prices up, they went up. Kissinger wanted them back down again a couple of years later, and they went down. So again, another concrete example of Bilderberg formulating the policy, communicating it to the invitees who attend the conference, and then within 12 months it plays out in the real world. Another example of how Bilderberg does have power and its members do exercise it aggressively in their host nations. Now, of course, with regard to Iran, Bilderberg all along has been skeptical of an attack on Iran. In 2008, they said that it wasn't the right time to launch military airstrikes on the country, and this kind of dovish theme has followed in Bilderberg meetings throughout history, because they're mainly dominated by the European socialist contingent who prefer to get their world government by little steps rather than massive advances. But for the first time in 2010, according to Jim Tucker and his sources from inside Bilderberg, they now overwhelmingly support an attack on Iran in 2010. So, I mean, we're at the most significant danger of that happening now over the last 12 months, because history has shown us that if Bilderberg call for something, they usually get it. And it's happened with many different policy areas before, and one can only hope that it doesn't happen again. But according to Tucker now, the majority of Bilderberg members want the attack on Iran, so, you know, watch out. But as we can see from what I've just documented in the list that I've just provided of concrete examples of Bilderberg having a direct impact on global policy, people like Belay and Hollingshead have been proven completely wrong in their claims that Bilderberg has no influence whatsoever. So, we've got a lot of explaining to do.
Everybody knows that the dice are loaded.
Global elite are in crisis. They're furious at being exposed. They want Americans disarmed, destitute and disengaged from caring about who is really running their lives in a completely illegal and undemocratic manner from behind closed doors. Now, Bilderberg and the march towards world government is an open conspiracy. It cannot continue in a veiled form. They have to put it out there in the open. But in doing so, they run the risk of the resistance to the agenda growing in leaps and bounds on a regular basis, which is exactly what's happening with the Bilderberg group, who are experiencing protests in growing numbers year by year, increasing media attention year by year. And they're upset about it. They're furious. We had the conversation overheard by the London Guardian journalist Charlie Skelton, who said that Bilderberg organisers were incensed at the fact that they were bullhorned in 2006 by Alex Jones, and that protesters still have an income, that's a direct quote, an income that enables them to travel to Bilderberg meetings on a yearly basis to protest the dirty deeds being done behind closed doors by these globalists who their own Bilderberg members now admit set policy. Bilderberg sets policy, it's admitted, it's no longer up for debate. Etienne Davignon admitted that Bilderberg created the euro. Now, NATO Secretary-General, former NATO Secretary-General Willy Claes, two-time Bilderberg member, former Foreign Affairs Minister for Belgium, admits on a Belgian radio station, Bilderberg does set policy. They mandate their members to follow a report that's compiled from each member's presentation, and then, to the best of their ability, set it as policy in each of their nations. So there's no debate on it anymore. Chip Boulay, Ian Hollingshead, all these debunkers who have attempted to claim that people who think that powerful people might get together and scheme in an anti-democratic way to increase their power are Looney Tunes. Well, that's completely been proven inaccurate. And these people have a lot of explaining to do, because you can no longer excuse them by using ignorance. I mean, this stuff's out in the open. Either they're really shoddy researchers or they're being paid to lie by the organisations that fund them, like the Ford Foundation that funds the group that Chip Boulay works for. So we know Bilderberg now is an open conspiracy. We know that their agenda is a post-industrial revolution. They want high unemployment, high taxes. They want to implement fascist austerity measures, which are coming to the United States within 7 years, according to the latest GDP to national debt ratio reports, which show that the USA is going to be in exactly the same situation as Greece in roughly 7 years. So will we see the kind of riots on the streets that we saw in Greece and continue to happen around the world? A lot of people are predicting that we will see that. Don't forget that in the 70s in the United Kingdom, tax was at 98% for people earning over 20,000. So there's going to be a lot of strife to come, and it just remains to be seen how far they will push this fascist austerity agenda and how the American people will react. But for sure, the globalists are in crisis. The American people are rising in revolt against it, and that, as Alex Jones said in his video the other day, has the globalists running scared, and patriots should be popping champagne corks in recognition of what we've achieved and the one march to freedom in the future.